I'm on page 1 of 15, and note on my study sheet it told me I would find the answers to the first question on page 2. So a set is a collection of items. The items in a set are called elements. If I hover over elements, it tells me a definition and gives me an example. A common way to write a set is to list its elements in curly braces. Some of the sets are completely contained in others. In these cases, you would have a smaller set is a subset. Another highlighted word gives me the definition. You will find that the graphics contain 4 new keywords: positive integers, whole numbers, negative integers, and integers. If you click on these buttons, it'll give you examples. Now if we go back to our study sheet, a collection of items is a element. Counting numbers are also called blank integers. So we need counting numbers. Positive integers and negative numbers. Counting numbers. Let's try this one. The positive integers are called the counting numbers. So in this blank I would also put positive integers. And we would work our way through. And it guides you along. It's a form of guided note-taking of what pages in the lesson you will find these answers. Alright, so moving on. If we finish that study activity, we go to checkup. These are practice problems. These are once again in your unit, so you can get them from there. Practice problems look something like this. There's not too many of them. If you've seen a traditional unit at the school, you know that it's just chock full of problem after problem after problem, so you don't have as many problems in here to do. These are for practice so you can get better before you take the quiz. So a quiz, I need to score at least a 70% on this quiz to be able to go on to the next lesson. I click to the next page, and you will not see some of the stuff at the top. You will not see autocomplete or preview. You will answer the questions, so if I say true and click submit, it'll give me feedback. I'm correct. Then I have to click next. Are these the same thing? True. Submit. Next. So you can see how these might go pretty quickly. S is bigger than T, so we'll do this. There are 14 questions on this test. It tells me what question I'm on. If for some reason you have to stop in the middle of a quiz, the system remembers where you stopped. You're allowed to take the quiz up to 3 times before you need to contact your facilitator to have it reset. So if you've taken it 3 times and have not passed, your facilitator will need to reset it for you. So you go to your message center and you send them a kind email asking them to reset your quiz. So let's just see. Purposely get one wrong. So it says incorrect. I can see the answer if I choose. Now, if it has a square box, it means there's multiple responses. That is something new to you, as in most of our courses only have one answer. So pay attention. Boxes mean I can have multiple answers. It says check all the expressions that are equal to this one. So it looks like A, B, and I think that's it. Let's see if we got it right. We got it right. Here's another multiple response answer question. So after I pass this quiz, and I'll know whether or not I've done a good job, let's finish here. Our true is 8 minus 6 equal to 2. Yes. This is equal to negative 2. It's not less than 2, nor is it greater than 2. So we got it right. Does not equal 1. Negative 1. Okay. Now I have to type in an answer. A collection of items is also called an element. Now if you spelled it wrong, or you did what I did, you got it wrong. If you spell it wrong and you know you spelled it wrong, and it's an obvious typo, the computer knows some of the typos, but otherwise, if you know you spelled it wrong and it was really the right answer, you can email your facilitator and say, hey, I got this one right. Could you check it for me? And they'll check. We know this one, it's counting because we looked it up. The set of whole numbers includes blank and all positive integers. It includes 0 and all positive integers. What's the relationship between that? So it would be t is less than r. Oop, and I didn't type less than. And one more. 15. So when I'm done, and it'll tell me if I've passed or not, I got an 86%, so I got 24 out of 28 points. If I would not have passed this, I would easily just click reset and I would do it again. If I wanted to get a perfect score on this, because this is your chance to increase your grades, we want you to do the best you can in any class. If you want to earn a higher grade, you can also click reset. But remember, you only get 3 tries. So at the end of the 3rd try, you really need to be passing this. It is very, very important that you take your time on these quizzes and make sure you do a good job. If you do get to the 3rd try and you have not passed, you need to email your facilitator and ask them to reset. So once I finish this quiz, the next quiz will pop up. Once I finish that one, 1.2 will open. I can open 1.2 and I can work my way down. So at any point in time that you just go all the way to the end and it shows you a diagnostic and you don't see anything in between, but you have worksheets in your unit, you might be stuck somewhere. And it might be worth contacting a facilitator to say, hey, I'm stuck, because they can't read your mind and they don't know what's going on. When you're finished with all the work, so you've done all the way through 1.8 or whatever the last lesson is for you, the next thing to do would be the wrap-up. In the wrap-up, there's a practice assignment. All math courses require you to complete the math practice assignment. It's worth 100 points of your grade. So this is also in your unit. It's usually one of the last set of pages that you have. This is worth 100 points to your grade. It's a little less than 1/3, sometimes 1/4 of your grade, so just make sure you do it. Take your time. This is like the unit review in the back of a traditional unit. You just need to take your time on it. And in here, in most of our math courses now, you have to do a discussion post. So it's going to ask you some questions and give you some directions. So to begin participating in the discussion, go to the next page. And it tells you how it's going to be scored. Now we realize that you might be the only one in your course, so if you make the post and there's no one else in there, you will earn the 30 points. So I go to the next page and it pops up the question, and I need to reply to be able to make the post. So you click on reply and a new window appears. And I can type my message right here. You need to make sure your message is responding to a question that is given to you. Next, you're going to take the CST test. CST is a computer scored test. Think of it as like your Scantron test. This test must be taken at the school site or the center for it to count as your grade. It is available for you to take at home as a practice. However, for the unit to count, you will need to take it at school. If you have taken this at home, you need to email your facilitator and ask them to reset the test so you could take it at school. Remember that facilitators have 24 hours to respond to you. So if it's the morning you're supposed to go in and take this test at school with your teacher to get your unit in to count for a learning period, and you email your facilitator, they may or may not be able to respond to you that quickly. The same thing, I mean, if you emailed or called me that day and needed a reset, I might be driving somewhere, I might be unavailable, I might be in a meeting. So you need to give us 24-hour notice. So if you know you're going to school on Monday, you might want to email Sunday saying, I'm going to need this test reset. Then we'll make sure it's ready for you Monday morning. If you're going to go in on Friday, email Wednesday or Thursday saying, hey, I need this reset, can you please help me out? And we'll do our best to help you out. You take the test you also need to pass with a 70% or higher. you do not get to retake tests, the CST tests, for a higher grade. There are a couple of courses that require a TST test. You will know based on the whiteboard in your unit. When we get to the end of a whole course, so you've done all 5 units, every course has a final exam. In Apex, there is a place for you to prepare for your final. They give you a review, semester review, to help you, and then there's a final exam. You must pass the final exam also with a 70%. Some things you should note: there's a appendix. In the appendix contains the syllabus for the course. As you complete things, especially quizzes, the quizzes will be checked off and it'll tell you how many points you earned. So it can help guide you. If you want to see exactly how long a unit is, this is also where you can print the syllabus to kind of guide you on your way. If you get to a later unit and a word was used in an earlier unit, or you don't know what the word means and it's a mathematical term or any term used in the course, you can go to key terms. It's like the dictionary for the course, and all the key terms for the entire course are listed. In all the math courses, you're allowed to use a calculator. There's a calculator provided within the course room, or you can provide your own. The calculator just pops up. It's a little Java app, and you can use the calculator. In the math courses, you're also allowed to use the calculator on the exam. There's things here in this particular algebra course, such as a number line tool and a graphing tool, some study tips. How to submit your work: you are always going to turn your work back into your regular teacher. If something needs to be graded by your facilitator, the regular teacher will send it over via scan to your facilitator to grade. So you always should submit your work as your unit to your teacher and say, my unit is complete, I'm ready to take my test at the school site, come watch me log in. So there's your overview of Apex Learning. You're going to work through your course, 1 unit, 1 lesson at a time, just going through individual studies, taking the quizzes, filling out your study sheets, till you've worked through the entire unit. In most cases, you do not have a textbook for these courses. Everything is found online, so think of your computer and the internet as your textbook, and you still have worksheets to fill in, which are like your traditional work. Remember, most units take about 10 hours of student work, so 2 hours a day, which is more than doable, and you need to be logging in every week. If you go more than 10 days without logging in, you're in danger of being withdrawn from the online program. You do need to be turning in a unit of online work every week. If you have any questions, you can always contact myself. I'm Christine Cassett, the online program supervisor. I put my contact information back up here on the screen. And or your online facilitator. You can always contact your teacher. They know how to get a hold of lots of people to help you. And for technical difficulties, please feel free to call Apex Learning and they will help you. I hope you have a wonderful program and enjoy the experience.